Welcome to Space Drift. Subscribe the channel. Hey everyone, S Drift here. We always hear about the US-Canada border as a symbol of friendship and shared history. People cross it daily for work, family, or vacation. But when it comes to actually moving, a different story emerges. Some US border states, despite being so close, rarely attract Canadians looking to relocate. Why do so many Canadians skip over their neighboring states and head for places like Florida or California instead? It's not just about preference, there are deeper reasons. Media group, stacks of US and Canadian currency, people walking in snowstorm, busy multicultural urban street at its stock, at distribute_equally, economics, culture, even weather. Today, let's dig into why certain US border states are overlooked by Canadians. What makes these states less appealing, and what does it say about what Canadians value in a new home? Let's find out. North Dakota sits right next to Saskatchewan and Manitoba, sharing hundreds of miles of border with Canada. With such close proximity, you might expect a steady flow of Canadians moving south. But in reality, that's not the case. So why don't more Canadians move there? The climate is a big reason. North Dakota's winters are even harsher than many Canadians are used to, with biting winds and blizzards that can shut down entire towns for days. For those hoping to escape the cold, it's a lateral move at best. The long, dark winters can feel endless, and the isolation only adds to the challenge. The oil boom once made North Dakota a hotspot for jobs, drawing people from across the continent. But that boom has faded, and the economy is now less diverse and more uncertain. Most jobs are in agriculture or energy, so professionals in other fields see limited opportunities. If you're not a farmer, an oil worker, or in a related trade, finding work can be tough. The rural conservative culture can feel worlds apart from Canada's urban centers. Social life is slower, and traditions run deep. Amenities and services are sparse, cities are small, and public services don't match what Canadians expect. Healthcare, education, and entertainment options are limited. For many, it feels like a step back in lifestyle and convenience. The pace of life is slower, and the sense of isolation can be overwhelming. North Dakota isn't a bad place, it's just not the right fit for most Canadians. It offers peace and quiet, but at the cost of connection and opportunity. The proximity is overshadowed by the reality of daily life. The border may be close, but the differences are significant. For most, it's a place to visit, not to settle. Canadians come for road trips, shopping, or a taste of Americana, but few stay for good. The invisible wall isn't physical, it's about lifestyle and opportunity. The contrast between bustling Canadian cities and North Dakota's quiet towns is stark. That's why so few Canadians call North Dakota home. The border may be open, but the gap in daily life keeps most from crossing it for good. Montana borders 3 Canadian provinces and boasts some of the continent's most breathtaking scenery. Its rugged mountains, endless plains, and pristine lakes create a landscape that feels untouched and wild, drawing visitors from around the world. But this vastness comes at a price. Montana is one of the most sparsely populated places in North America, with fewer residents than the city of Calgary, yet spread across a massive expanse of land. The romance of open space quickly gives way to the reality of true isolation. Towns are separated by hours of driving, and basic amenities like hospitals, grocery stores, or even gas stations can be few and far between. The job market is narrow, focused mainly on agriculture, tourism, and natural resources. Many residents rely on seasonal work or family-run businesses to make ends meet. Unless your career fits neatly into those sectors, opportunities are slim, and professional growth can be limited. Montana's fiercely independent rural culture can be hard for outsiders to break into. Longtime residents value self-reliance and close-knit communities, which can feel unwelcoming to newcomers. The political climate is more conservative than neighboring Canadian provinces, with different attitudes toward government, healthcare, and social issues. For Canadians used to urban life, the trade-off is significant. Montana offers natural beauty and tranquility, but at the cost of convenience, career prospects, and the vibrant city culture many are accustomed to. It's a dream destination for outdoor enthusiasts and those seeking solitude, but for most, Montana is a place to visit, not to build a life. The disconnect between its scenic allure and the practical realities of daily living keeps most Canadians from making the move. The border may be close, but the lifestyle gap is wide and often insurmountable for many. For many Canadians, the sacrifices required to live in Montana simply outweigh the benefits, no matter how beautiful the view. So Montana remains a stunning neighbor, admired from afar, but rarely chosen as a new home. Michigan and Ontario are deeply connected. Commuters cross daily, and the auto industry ties them together. But moving to Michigan doesn't offer Canadians much change. The weather is nearly identical to southern Ontario. No escape from cold winters. Michigan's economic struggles, especially in cities like Detroit, still linger in people's minds. Job markets are similar, so there's little incentive to move when you can work cross-border and keep Canadian benefits. The hassle of border crossings adds another layer of inconvenience. Southern Ontario already offers vibrant cities, nature, and a strong economy. For most, Michigan feels like a parallel version of home, but with more complications. The benefits just don't outweigh the costs. It's a great neighbor, but not a compelling destination. Minnesota shares a lot with Canada: outdoor culture, hockey, even the climate. But that's the problem. The winters are just as harsh, if not worse. Why go through the hassle of immigration for the same weather? The Twin Cities offer good jobs, but so do Canadian cities, often with better social benefits. Higher U.S. salaries are offset by healthcare costs and a comparable cost of living. The culture is similar, but the differences, politics, social systems, can feel jarring. For many, Minnesota is too close to home in the ways they want to change, and too different in the ways they want to keep. Manitoba and Ontario offer similar opportunities without the need to leave Canada. Minnesota is a great place to visit, but not enough of a draw to move. The value proposition just isn't there. It's familiar but not enticing. For most Canadians, it's a weekend trip, not a new start. The cold shoulder is mutual. New York State is a tale of two regions. On one hand, the world-famous city that never sleeps, and on the other, the sprawling, often overlooked upstate. These two areas could not be more different. Yet together they define the New York experience. New York City, with its bright lights and endless energy, attracts Canadians looking for excitement, career opportunities, and a taste of the global stage. But the cost of living is sky high. Even high earners find their money doesn't go far, as rent, groceries, and daily expenses quickly add up, especially for newcomers adjusting to the city's pace. And after currency exchange, the financial strain is even greater. Upstate New York, much closer to Ontario and Quebec, shares a climate, culture, and even some family ties with Canada. Yet it faces economic challenges. The decline of manufacturing and industry has left many towns struggling, with fewer job opportunities and a slower pace of life. For Quebecers, the language and culture shift is significant, leaving behind a protected French identity and entering a place where French is rarely spoken, and cultural differences are more pronounced. The state's complex tax and government systems can be overwhelming for newcomers, with unfamiliar rules and paperwork adding to the challenge of settling in. The city is too expensive. Upstate is too economically stagnant. Canadians see more opportunity, stability, and a sense of belonging at home. The comfort of familiar healthcare, social systems, and community ties makes staying in Canada appealing, even as the dream of New York remains strong. The border is easy to cross for a visit, a shopping trip, or a weekend adventure, but not for starting a new life. The hurdles are simply too high for most. For most Canadians, New York is a destination to explore, not a place to settle down. The allure is real, but so are the obstacles. And so the New York conundrum remains, tempting, yet just out of reach for many Canadians. Vermont, next to Quebec, is known for its beauty, progressive politics, and artisanal culture. But it's tiny, no big cities, and a very rural lifestyle. The job market is limited, focused on tourism, agriculture, and small-scale industries. For professionals, moving to Vermont means a likely career downgrade. The cost of living is high relative to wages, and taxes are steep. The lifestyle is idyllic, but can feel isolating for those used to urban amenities. Montreal is just a short drive away, offering everything Vermont lacks. Canadians can enjoy Vermont's charm on weekends without giving up their careers or networks. Vermont is a boutique state, perfect for a vacation, tough for a permanent move. Its strengths are also its limitations. Most Canadians prefer to visit, not relocate. The quiet charm is best enjoyed in small doses. Vermont remains a cherished neighbor, not a new home. Maine borders Quebec and New Brunswick, offering rugged beauty and maritime culture. But it's remote, even from major U.S. cities. The economy relies on tourism, fishing, and forestry, with few professional opportunities. Salaries are low, and the cost of healthcare is high for Canadians. The climate is just as harsh as Eastern Canada. No weather advantage. Maine's population skews older, making it less appealing for young families. Proximity to Canada means easy visits, so there's little reason to move permanently. Canadians can enjoy Maine's scenery and culture without uprooting their lives. For most, it's a perfect vacation spot, not a place to build a future. The isolation and limited job market are deal breakers. Maine is beautiful but best loved from a distance. The attraction is real, but the incentive to move isn't. So why do Canadians avoid these border states? It's a mix of harsh climates, limited job markets, and lifestyles that don't offer enough change or opportunity. For most, the effort of immigration isn't worth it if life feels the same or harder on the other side. These states are wonderful to visit, but not compelling enough to call home. The invisible border is about more than geography. It's about what Canadians value in a new life. Would you consider moving to any of these states? Let us know in the comments. Thanks for watching.